So we have a number of different ratings. We have false, partly false, misleading, altered, missing context, satire, and true. So for false, we look at media or content that has no basis in fact. So, for example, a fake quote that's been attributed to a public figure or a politician, a claim that is impossible that couldn't have happened. For example, if someone says, "Oh, there was an earthquake in Pakistan, but there was never an earthquake," that's completely false. Um, a conspiracy theory that explains like events as like the secret work of a group or individual, which may which is presented as fact but has no verifiable information. Um, then also just fabricated content, edited, altered content that completely changes the meaning of the post. For example, a video or an image that has been altered to the extent that it completely changes what's happening or what's being seen in the video. Then we also have altered content, which is, for example, a video or an image that has been edited, but it's been edited for clarity. It's not necessarily been edited to mislead, but it can still be misleading. So, for example, if a speech has been cut up, a speech by a public figure has been cut up in a misleading way, that we would rate as altered content. The third rating we use is partly false. So, partly false is content that has a few factual inaccuracies, but has truth to it as well. An example of this would be saying that, X amount of people attended a rally when it was actually Y amount of people. The rally itself was held. It was a large rally, but there's a difference in the numbers of people being reported to have attended. Then our other rating is missing context. That is content that implies a false claim without directly stating it. So, for example, maybe it's a completely unaltered video clip of a group of people at a protest. But the full version of the video shows maybe that group of people instigating violence. So sharing the shorter version, depending on what the caption is, that would be considered missing context because it's not fully representing what was happening there. And then obviously we have satire. We're not out there to fact check things and fact check jokes. But a lot of times satire, when it's not clearly marked, it is taken as truth. So we have a separate rating for that, which is sort of a less harsh rating. And then we have a true rating, which we don't often use, but it is important because often there's something truthful that's being spread on social media and a majority of people seem to think it's false for whatever reason. And then we will fact check that it's true. We end up fact checking a lot of content that's related to elections. We also try to keep our format very clear cut. So we always start the article with a claim, which is the piece of false and misleading information that's going viral. And then a fact right under that, which is the truth, because we don't want people to read to the end of the article and then figure out that, oh, actually, it's not true. A lot of people don't read the full article. So we want it clear cut at the beginning. So the claim in this case is that a video shows a large crowd at a public rally in Lahore during PTI's election campaign for the Punjab by-elections in March 2023. But actually, the clip is old and it doesn't show a recent PTI rally in Lahore. It shows an old rally in November 2022 in Gujranwala. So the way we fact-check that is we use the tool called InVid, which is, again, a free tool, and it helps you cut keyframes of a video. And then you can put those keyframes into Google Lens or Google Reverse Image Search and try and find when that video was initially posted. So in this case, we found the video was posted as early as November 2022. And that post led us to the conclusion that it was actually from Gujranwala. It's not a recent video. We then have a virality section where we just explain briefly, how often this has been shared, where it's being shared, and then we just conclude everything in the conclusion. So we want our fact checks to be very simple and clear cut, and we write them in a way that the reader can fact check the information themselves if they need. The reader can go to InVid and reverse image search the same video and come up to their own conclusion, so they don't even need to trust us necessarily. So that is one kind of fact check that we work on. Another kind might require some more investigative work or in-person reporting. We have a network of journalists who work with us and are able to do that work. So, for example, in April 2023, there was a claim going around that PMLN is going to boycott the Punjab election. The PMLN had made no such announcements. And we got in touch with the PMLN leader, Mohammed Zubair. He denied the claims. He gave us a quote. We always double check everything. We definitely spoke to other PMLN leaders. There was no truth to this claim. And we published our fact check.